On the October 22, 2025 episode of Live with Kelly and Mark, Ripa floated a tongue-in-cheek proposal to her husband and co-host, Mark Consuelos, an airport divorce. The phrase conjures a light-hearted separation at the airport, each spouse goes their own way until the gate, intended to ease the tensions that surface when the two travel together. Here's a creative exploration of why she suggested it, what it reveals about their marriage and personalities, and what we can learn about the rhythms of long-term partnerships. What happened, in short? Kelly explained. You and I have different traveling philosophies, different traveling styles. She told of a specific incident. Mark's TSA pre-check had lapsed, they got stuck in the slower line, and she felt he was annoyed at her for making you wait in this line with me. Mark pushed back. We were both there. Our perspectives are so different after 30 years of knowing each other. The airport divorce idea. We arrive at the airport and we intentionally part ways until we meet up on our flight. Kelly said. Mark asked. Like different flights altogether. She replied. I would also love that. Why this suggestion is more than just a joke. At first glance, the airport divorce is playful, a comedic bit between two long-married partners. But underneath the humor lie real dynamics that many couples experience. Different styles, same journey. Kelly and Mark have been married since 1996, and they work together, live together, and travel together. In their travel habits, Mark likes to arrive very early, get set, move at his pace. Kelly may prefer a more flexible pace, or feel impatient when the early arrival routine leads to frustrations. Her suggestion signals, I recognize we're out of sync in this realm, so maybe an approach that minimizes conflict could save our energy. Conflict arises not from lack of love but from mismatch in expectations. In the airport line scenario, Kelly felt Mark's irritation was misplaced. He seemed upset because of her, while in her view the real issue was the security line. Mark's reaction. We tell the same story differently after 30 years. This is classic long-term relationship terrain. The trouble isn't huge catastrophe, it's the small mismatches that add up. A divorce, that's really about space, not separation. By using the term divorce, Kelly gives it a dramatic name, funny, attention-catching, but she clarified the practical idea. Separate at the airport, reconnect at the gate. It's less about ending the marriage and more about mini vacations from each other inside the vacation. It says, let's handle this logistics zone efficiently, then engage together when the flight begins. In a way, it's a micro strategy to avoid showing up at a flight stressed, which affects both their moods and the rest of the journey. Acknowledgement that they're still human. Despite decades together, they still have moments where one annoys the other. Kelly's line, the airport divorce is what we are definitely getting. She's joking, but also recognizing that travel can trigger irritations even in very stable marriages. In fact, she's been open about tensions. She admitted resentment about Mark not aging, as she felt she was. This is a couple that knows marriage isn't always smooth, and are willing to make fun of it together. What this reveals about the couple. Their humor is a tool. They rarely couch these stories in solemnity, they frame them as banter on air. Which suggests that, publicly at least, they're comfortable owning imperfections. They're comfortable talking about their marriage in real time, disagreements, annoyances, habits. This kind of openness, even as jokes, can actually strengthen connection, because it signals authenticity. They have a long shared history, almost 30 years together plus co-hosting together, which permits them to tease each other in ways new couples might avoid. They also value independence. The airport divorce implicitly allows each spouse to travel on their own terms for a chunk. That in itself communicates respect for individual styles inside the union. What we can learn from their example. Recognize mismatches early. Whether travel styles, weekend habits, or decision speed differences, differences aren't inherently bad, but ignoring them often leads to repeated friction. Create playful interventions. The airport divorce is a creative workaround. In your own relationship, you might devise your version. Maybe one drives, one navigates, maybe you both agree on separate prep routines for big events. Use humor to diffuse and reflect. Rather than making every disagreement a fight, framing it with levity helps reduce tension and keeps things in perspective. We are a team, even when we disagree. Value the reunion more than the rut. Kelly's proposal says, let's regroup when the actual flight begins, not flounder in the prep zone. In relationships, sometimes the travel to the emotional destination matters less than arriving together after the hurdles. Own that it's okay to say, I need some space, even if only for a few hours. Affirmation of self, even in a committed partnership, can prevent resentment. A little creative narrative to imagine. Picture Kelly and Mark dragging their roller bags into the terminal. Kelly, wearing chic sunglasses, strolls with purpose. Mark, in his tailored jacket, strolls a few steps behind, earbuds in, already checking his watch. They arrive early. Too early, according to Kelly. She spots a slow line at security. Mark tenses. The line is moving, but not fast enough. Kelly nudges him. He gives a polite smile to a fan. Kelly lowers her gaze. The tension begins. At that moment, Kelly conjures the idea, let's split up here. I'll go one line, you'll go your own. We meet at the gate. Done. It's not dramatic. It's strategic. It's marriage optimization. They each get their preferred pace. They meet later. They board the plane. They share a toast in flight. Mission accomplished. And if you watch from the lounge, you might chuckle, because you see the subtle, human choreography of a couple who's done this dance for decades, and is still learning steps, still making it up as they go. Conclusion. Kelly Ripa's airport divorce proposal to Mark Consuelos is both comedic spectacle and genuine insight. It shows how two people deeply committed to each other still navigate the minutiae of difference, through creativity, humor, and willingness to adapt. Travel may be the stage here, but the script applies to many arenas of shared life: work rhythms, household tasks, parenting pivots, aging transitions. So they arrive early. They disagree about the line. They propose separation at the checkpoint. They reconnect at the gate. They board, and as they settle in their seats, there's a sense of agreement. One more trip. One more takeoff. Together.